Dear attendees, we are confident that this upcoming masterclass will spark some great questions and lively discussion. In this exclusive session, hosted by Exness, we'll delve into one of the most talked about topics in the industry today, the build-to-rent model. As this approach gains serious traction, it's proven to be a strategic investment opportunity, offering scalable solutions that address the evolving needs of modern tenants. Please join me in welcoming to the stage Sotiris Kambanellas, CFO at Exness Real Estate, and Yiannis Kotzias, Head of Property Management at Exness Real Estate, who will guide us through this hot topic.
Oshi.
Thank you, guys. Looks like I will be singing today. Thank you for having us. So let's get our slides on and get started. Okay. So my name is Sotiris Kambanellas. I'm the CFO of Exness Real Estate.
My name is Yiannis Kotzias. I'm the Head of Property Management for Exness Real Estate. Τώρα, καλύτερα. Ευχαριστώ.
Ευχαριστούμε. And our aim today is to talk about BTR. Maybe the word masterclass is a bit too pompous here. We just want to share our understanding of the industry, our research, and explain more or less what we are doing at Exness for this industry. So let's kick it off.
We're going to talk about what is BTR, build to rent. We're going to have an overview on the global BTR momentum, and we're going to talk about the case in Cyprus, the BTR case in Cyprus. The BTR concept. The build to rent concept is more than a property development strategy. It's a long-term commitment to quality living, combining the mindset, the hospitality mindset with the discipline of real estate. BTR is focusing on large-scale developments, focused on amenities and communal spaces, curating lifestyle and vibrant living. BTR is an emerging trend globally in the real estate industry in response to the housing crisis and demand-supply gap, contributing to urban regeneration and growth. Investors benefit from a steady yield and increased asset value. Tenants receive consistent, high-quality living experience.
So what we're planning to explore here is that BTR mainly is two elements, product and services, and we want to analyze both. In terms of investors, I'm sure that because most of the topic is around developing and build to sell, we have to, let's say, give a caveat that build to rent is a bit of a different animal. We're talking about lower IRRs, lower returns, but steady yields, long-term investment. So it's catered for investors looking for long-term investment with a specific mindset of long-term hold. So
let's have an overview on the global BTR momentum. Globally, BTR is on the rise. Occupancy rates exceed 90%, and rental yields are consistently strong between 4 to 6%. Of course, we're not going to analyze US market, which is a very dynamic market, and it's the leader in the BTR market. We're going to oversee some European countries, the leaders in European countries, and UK too. Let's go to the Europe. Germany, Spain, Ireland, France, Netherlands. Germany has a 20 to 30% year-on-year growth in investment activity. Strong momentum for Berlin, Munich, Frankfurt. A lot of international funds are increasingly active in German BTR. Spain, 15 to 25 year-on-year growth in the development pipeline. Several joint ventures between Spanish developers and funds, institutional funds, are active also in Spain. Ireland, France, Netherlands, you will see between 20 to 30% growth, yearly growth in the BTR market.
It's important to note here that these countries are more mature in their build-to-rent policies, schemes. So we've seen that there is a lot of government interactions and involvement with that. They have been developed in most of these countries, specific schemes with build-to-rent, allowing various flexibilities. Obviously, in Cyprus, this is a newer concept, It's just starting, but we are, let's say, positively, we see with the positive, let's say, response of the government to look into some incentives. There's been announced a couple of schemes. Some were, let's say, good, some they need tweaking, but we see the appetite from the government to continue on this, and we're hopeful that as the industry is developing, with more and more coming government reforms on this, it will give another boost in build-to-rent and be an even more appealing investment.
Some more global market insights. You will see that for 2024, more than 80,000 new BTR units in the markets that we mentioned in the previous slide. You will see UK, Germany are the leaders in this market, in Europe and UK. Also Spain, Ireland, France, Netherlands, more than, more than 5 to 10,000 new units for 2024 were developed, were delivered. A lot of investment volume, 7 billion in UK, 18 billion in Germany, and between 1 to 6 billion in the rest of the European markets that we mentioned.
So this signals the confidence that investors have in the industry, and especially in the European market. We see that there is a lot of socioeconomic factors and macroeconomic factors that play into making BTR a more attractive option for people in the housing market. And as we move along, we'll see that globally we see a declining factor in ownership, home ownership. People, especially in Central Europe, they prefer to be on the rental for the flexibility, for the lifestyle that it offers, the mobility, etc. And these are some of the factors that we started identifying here in the Cyprus market as well.
These numbers for sure showing us that BTR is a strong global trend, of course.
So, the case in Cyprus. Why we believe that Cyprus is a good market for BTR. There is various factors, as I mentioned before, things that are the factors why it was big in Europe. We see that they are even more accelerated in Cyprus. Starting with the housing supply gap, we all know that there is a gap in the market and the supply. Historically, Cyprus was focused on luxury developments, driven by the passport program and other schemes, and the middle market, the affordable housing, or let's say the middle class comfort plus markets, were not invested so far. This created the fact that right now we see that there is not enough volume of quality rentals in the market and not enough homes in general. So there is a big gap in the supply. At the same time, we see that the demand growth continues. We see that a relocation of companies continues to be on the rise. We see that there is more and more relocations. The tech sector in Cyprus has a big influence on this. Us being Exness, we know the impact that it had in our company and our colleagues, and we see it expanded more. We see more and more tech talent relocating in Cyprus, that they are demanding for a higher product, a different quality product, which does not exist in the market right now. And as per the supply, we don't see the supply meeting that product. And it's where we're trying to step in. At the same time, house prices are increased. Obviously, we've seen global issues, trade wars, inflation, transportation costs, energy costs is pushing prices up. So it's even more and more difficult for especially young couples, young professionals to own a house. And with this mind, it started the lifestyle change. We prefer to rent. We prefer to be more flexible. We prefer to be more mobile, able to scale up, scale down according to our needs. So we see it growing in Cyprus as well. I will not bore you with graphs, etc., but we thought it's important to, let's say, confirm what is our understanding by some graphs. We can see that the migration change is increasing. It was peaked at 2021-22 and is continuing upwards in 2024 and expected going forward, driven by headquarters, the other initiatives by the government, and also from private investors. At the same time, we see that the building permits change and the square meter change that end up in the market are declining. So they don't even meet the current demand, not more to mention the future demand that is coming with a lot of projects and a lot of initiatives. Same time, we can see that rentals have grown significantly in the last 5-6 years, and they outgrown the rate of growth of the yearly earnings, which means that even renting is becoming more and more difficult. We don't highlight this. We don't see this as a risk. We see this as an opportunity, because this graph here highlights the size of the problem, but also gives the opportunity that of the high demand that is needed for residential and BTR. And we feel that with the right BTR volumes in the market will be able to absorb it. And even with a normalization in prices, it will still allow for healthy yields for the investors. We've covered this, but what we see is that the decline in home ownership continues as price goes up, and we see more and more people, especially young Cypriots, professionals that are relocating, preferring to rent instead of owning. And this is where we think it's an opportunity for us entering the BTR market. So today, we want to present you our brand. As Exness Build to Rent, we've developed a separate brand that is not launched yet. It's in the process of being launched. But since we are addressing the subject, we thought that it's wise to present to you EX3.
Of course, we are proud that we introduced our new brand. We are combining, in EX3, we are combining visionary design, purpose-built product, and hospitality-driven living to redefine the residential experience in Cyprus, the BTR residential experience in Cyprus.
So maybe you cannot see it right now, but actually the logo, if you turn it upside down, it shows the home and the heart, which, as we discussed before, BTR has two main elements, the product and then the services, the feeling that is getting up. So that's what EX3 is for us. So starting with the product, we see that there are fundamental differences from the product in a build-to-sell market from build-to-rent. The focus in build-to-rent is to cater the needs of the tenants there that they will be staying for long term, that they have different needs. They want different things. So what we do at EX3, we try to set the gold standard for BTR in Cyprus. Maybe it's an ambitious goal, but at Exness, usually we try to set ambitious goals and try to meet them. So it starts with master planning of large-scale projects. We will not do minor projects because it does not give you the ability to do a quality product. Purpose-built residential units cater for build-to-rent, not generic units. Specifications, they are upgraded to be future-proofed. As BTR, you are the owner of that assets for many years, 30, 40, 50 years. So the specifications need to be future-proof. They have to be at a high quality that what the market will demand in the next 10, 15 years, you must meet them from now. Otherwise, your stock will be obsolete. Materials have to be high quality, so it's low maintenance to avoid reinvestment cost in the product. Energy efficient, allowing for low operating costs, and at the heart of it is the amenities, the shared spaces, because you are talking about community living. You cannot just take any project, any building, and turn it to BTR if you want to be like the true build-to-rent, long, sustainable model. That's why we are focused on a purpose build from scratch to develop our own product for that.
And let's go at the services. We are not just providing homes. In EX3, we are shaping the future of people, how people live and how asset performs. And that's what makes BTR in Cyprus, again, so exciting. More than a property development, a long-term commitment to quality living. Beyond housing, we are delivering lifestyle experiences with our services, community life and shared moments, hotel-style housekeeping and concierge services, curated community experiences, 24/7 support, and of course, as a result, all these results in longer lease durations and stronger brand equity.
If we were to connect this with what we were saying before about the lifestyle choice and the trend, we see that this is what people are looking in the market. Starting from mostly the expats, the professionals that are coming to Cyprus, digital nomads, etc. But we can see a growing local population that prefers the lifestyle versus owning. Meaning, I will tell about myself. I prefer being in the environment that I have these amenities, this lifestyle, this feeling, this community feeling, instead of just owning the piece of land. I think as the generation moves, it switches the way we approach things.
And the stressful mortgages.
Yeah. Actually, it was covered before. We see that it's becoming more and more difficult of owning. Getting mortgages is very difficult. Inflation eroding the income. So being at the build-to-earn, especially at a transparent, friendly BTR operator, that pricing is transparent, you don't have spikes in rental, it's a more steady, it's more expectable, it's easier for the people to plan their life around that. So this is what we aspire to solve in the housing crisis.
Another very, very important factor for us, for EX3, it's technology. Technology is the enabler between quality of services and our growth. Throughout technology, we can streamline maintenance and communication, analytics. We have faster response, reduced cost, superior tenant services, centralized procurement and automation at scale, and operational efficiencies increase significantly as we scale to more than 2,000 units.
At core at Exness, we are a technology company. So we want to be at the level, we are not at that level now, but we are taking steps against that, to be really a technology-driven build-to-our operator. Because I think that's how we will achieve proper operation, but also give the maximum service to the client. Because at the end of the day, the whole venture is around the service. If the people do not feel the service and there is delays, problems, etc., we fail that. If we fail the service element, the whole build-to-our investment is a failure. So that's our focus. So talking about the 2,000 units, we would like to share to you our current pipeline. These are the 11 projects that we are currently working on. There is more stock available of projects that we are considering, but these are the projects already under construction. We have 1,043 units, 200 already being delivered, and it's 5 different projects they deliver throughout 2028. And we have at the final stages of planning and permitting another 6 projects delivering 1,357 units by 2030. So our aim is to have at least 2,400 units by 2030, because we see the big gap, we see the demand, and we are trying to meet it. So that's our, let's say, commitment for now. We do see other investments potentially growing this, and will depend on how demand grows in Cyprus with various projects that we are aware are happening, but this is what we have in the pipeline at the moment. So, economic impact. We addressed the return to investors, more or less, that is a steady yield, but also at the same time, we're more or less looking at the social impact. We are solving the housing problem, but also we want to see the impact that these investments has in the economy. We recently commissioned an economic impact assessment study by PwC to capture and try to quantify what's the impact in the economy from these investments. And it came out that with these 11 projects, the total economic impact is 1.1 billion. During construction phase, during development phase, that's about 3.3% of GDP, which is a big number. A lot of it goes to taxes, but the most important factor, I think, is the fact that 1,700 plus jobs will be, let's say, employed, people will be employed during the construction phase.
And of course, at the operations phase, which is the future, the annual economic impact is going to be more than 46 millions. Annual tax contribution, almost 4 millions, and we're going to employ more than 260 full-time employees.
Summarizing, because that was all we had for the slides, is that we believe that build-to-earn is ideal for Cyprus. We see the gap in the market. We see the need for more housing developments in the market. We feel that build-to-rent is the answer to the housing crisis. We feel that also the government recognizes this, and they are trying to spark interest, investment interest in the market. We believe in the free economy, so giving the right opportunities to the right private investors to invest, that will eventually reduce prices and create a more sustainable environment while having comfortable yields for the investors. Our estimate for the yields in Cyprus, Yiannis mentioned it before, is between 6 to 8%, while the global averages are between 4 to 6%. We're talking about long-term yields, 30 years. So that's our focus. We are proud of what we are doing at the X3. We feel that we identified the need and the right product in the market. And we are happy to see that our plans and our commitment have impact also to the economy and to the society. So that's more or less our view.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. In a couple of minutes, we're going to be done with you. Whoever has a question, we can talk in person.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.